After a 2-year suspension due to COVID-19 or 2-year absence, the Rugby Americas North Tournament returned today with action at the Mona Bowl on the campus of the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica, St. Andrew Parish. In the first game of the tournament, Cayman Islands pulled off a shock, beating defending champions Mexico 15-5. Hosts Jamaica went down 21-7 to the powerful USA South team. Now, at the pre-event press conference on Wednesday, the general manager of RAN, Niall Brooks, expressed relief at the return to action.
It's a very important tournament. We've had as many as 10, maybe 12 teams participate in this tournament. It is great to see 6 teams back playing after a 2.5-year hiatus when these guys have played no rugby hardly ever. So a big round of applause, I think, for everybody who's coming back here after 2.5 years hiatus. They've kept training and playing, and it's great to see everybody back.
TNT's women's 12s captain Leah Kintiba says she is pleased with the development of the women's game in the region.
Really pleased at the development. Reason being is that a lot more females are being exposed to rugby. We have been pushing for women to come out and take part in rugby and those stuff. So the development is going the way it's supposed to be going. We're going forward at that point. So I believe within maybe 2-3 years, we're supposed to have way more females coming out and taking part.
It's been almost 2 decades since Jamaica last hosted the Rugby Americas North competition, and the chairman of the Jamaica Rugby Football Union, Jerry Benjic, toasted what he called a momentous occasion for the country.
This is a stepping stone for us as a union. Really, it's scary because hosting a tournament takes a lot. It's a lot of work that goes on in the background, and we're basically learning as we go. We understand what it takes, but it's still a learning curve. But this is just a stepping stone for us. It's once we host this one, the idea is take that first step, make it happen, get through it, make it a good one, and then we can bid for more tournaments. The idea is that Jamaica is the place for rugby, and we're going to establish that. Yeah, so the usual suspects starting, well, not the usual suspects, those you expect to punch hardest in this tournament have started to form, except for the Mexicans in that first game, caught cold by the Cayman Islands, who were good value for that 15-5 win.
Definitely what we would consider an upset, but based on what I've seen from the competition on day one, George and Lance, it's been a very exciting match. But Lance, I think you put it the best. Some of the matches are extremely lopsided. So you can see the teams that are struggling, the teams that didn't get the opportunity to train and whatnot. But even so, we welcome the competition because it's the opportunity now for these teams to play among the best, the ones that are better than them, and of course improve going forward. So I'm happy to see the rugby competition. I've been watching it all day on the SportsMax app, and if you haven't downloaded it, you can do so too.
Yeah, very grueling schedule as well, because a lot of the teams have been playing twice so far today. And the Mexicans, without a win so far from 2 of their games, we spoke of their 15-5 loss to the Cayman Islands in their opener, but they were held 7-7 by Bermuda in their second game. George and Mariah, the USA South, the hottest team in the league at the moment, winning 21-7 over the Jamaicans, and then defeating Trinidad and Tobago by 29-0. How do you explain that, Mariah?
I don't know. How do you explain for Jamaica? Or do I explain for both of them?
21-7 is a defeat, but 29-0 is, what would you call that?
Very, very poor.
Yeah, lopsided. That was the word you used, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough for the Caribbean players, especially Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica. But Lance, as I said, you're going up against the best. USA, they're known for being great rugby players. So take it as the opportunity, to learn something from them. But I mean, the beating is really, really bad.
It was actually 31-0. It was the Bermudans that defeated the Cayman Islands 29-0. So some very big results being recorded on day one.
Well, what is true is that for the I don't want to call them weaker teams, but for the teams less experienced and less exposed in the competition, it won't get any better, because you would have expected that for the upsets that would be sprung, those would be sprung on the opening day. We got one today, the first game, the Cayman Islands are putting one over the Mexicans, but perhaps it is that the Mexicans come to this tournament undercooked. So for the teams of lesser experience, it's only going to get more difficult as the competition goes on. Because especially if you have players injured, you won't have the strength of squad to rotate and replace quality with quality. So these strong teams will remain strong. And as Jerry Benswick said when he came here, and the public relations officer of Rugby Americas North did, Gary Kelly, when he came here as well, this is about development. So you are going to have the lopsided scores when I put that question to him. And you are going to have some chastening defeats suffered by some of the teams. But it's all part of the development process. And it's nothing for anybody to be ashamed of, because the next cycle, when the experience of this tournament would have been put into developing the play of the respective teams ahead of the next tournament, that will be the proof of the pudding being eaten. So no harm, no shame in getting mauled at this tournament, because it's for the long-term benefit.
Yeah, a live look in there on the final game of the day. Jamaica leading Trinidad and Tobago after 10 minutes, 5-0. Yeah, that game is presently on, and that would be live on SportsMax too.
Yep. We had Jerry Benjic also speaking about the senior men's rugby sevens team, that's Jamaica's team, who will be competing at their second ever World Cup tournament, and that's going to be in September.
Our prolific rugby union sevens team, the first male team to qualify for 2 World Cups, and congratulations to our Reggae girls who are just behind us in making their second World Cup appearance qualification. So just by a few months, we welcome them to the family. Well, we did it first. Yeah. So it's an amazing achievement. We're not only going to the World Cup, but we're going to the Commonwealth Games and to the Challenger Series. So this team, whenever they play in the regional championships, they qualify for several tournaments. This time around, it was the Commonwealth Games and the World Cup and the Challenger Series we qualified for a couple months before when we played in Turks. So after the Commonwealth Games in August, we're going straight over 1 week later to Chile to play in the Challenger Series. And then it's only a month later in September that we're playing for the World Cup. So basically, our preparation is Commonwealth Games against some of the top rugby teams in the world, which we are definitely going to have to put our foot into it, because we're going to face the Giants. Then we're going to play in the Challenger Series against teams that are a tier above us. And we are on par with some of them, and we hope to scalp some of them. Really, we have done it before. We're going to do it again. And then we go to the World Cup to face the Giants again, even more Giants. And each time we play these teams, we get better. And we feel more confident. Our players who are not professionally paid players, guys who go to work and have families and do regular things like you and me, are doing the job that paid professionals are doing. And that, I have to give kudos to my sevens team, my sevens management staff, and everybody who works with that program. And that's our flagship program that we're using to drive the sport.
Yeah, Jamaica Rugby Football Union, the Rugby Sevens, 2-time World Cup qualifiers. And I don't know why Jerry mixed the Rugby Football Union with the Jamaica Football Federation. The Reggae girls making history that is unblemished, the first football team of any gender in the Caribbean to qualify for consecutive World Cups. The rugby players have done what they've done. The Reggae girls have done what they've done. Back with more on the SportsMax Zone after these.
Thank you for watching SportsMax on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to click the notification bell to stay informed.